Howdy everybody, how's it going out there in TV land or YouTube land or whatever land you're in? Yeah, you might notice I have on the screen a chat function. I looked up on how to do this and I put a chat box on my screen. Hopefully it won't get in the way of too much as I go through my stuff, but let me know what you think of it. Makes it easier for me. I don't have to look over here at this computer over here, figure out where I need to go, that kind of thing. So, yeah. Well, I had an interesting week, I guess. Yeah, it's been kind of hectic the last couple of weeks, kind of like you, Peter, a bit. But basically, went to. I've had my computer crash on me. Went out of the living room, and last week I goofed up. I'm sorry for anybody that tried to watch the feed because I scheduled it. And it's the first time I ever scheduled a live feed before. So I didn't know you had to go when you do that. Unlike when I do it like I did today, I didn't have to do this. But when I schedule a feed, I have to go in and click go live on the button on the thing. So I sat there and I did an hour long program, over an hour long program with nobody. I thought nobody watching because I never broadcasted actually. So I got to fish. I went, what? Not saving or nothing, you know. So it's really crazy. Anyway, well, I gotta get some light on the sub face here, so I look brighter. Hey, there I am. Now you can see me better, hopefully. Any rate, let's see. And so I had my computer out there crash on me last week, and I'm trying to figure out what to do. I've been playing with my son's computer. I put Gruda Linux on it, gaming edition, because it's a gaming computer and it has a NVIDIA card driver. And I got it to work pretty well. I got a Hollow Knight playing. Also found a game I really enjoyed playing called Rocket League. Haven't played it for a few days, but yeah, it's kind of fun because you just kind of skill. You gotta maneuver your car around, hit the ball into the opposite goal, that kind of thing. Interesting, but here we are. So yeah, so I went back to my normal routine of just going live straight from OBS. I did try to do some stuff. I'm trying to work it out so that I'm so crazy, huh? Yeah, yeah, well, that's crazy business. Anyway, let's see. Well, yeah, my wife had some days off because once a month for the next year, she's got to go to start grand jury proceedings. That means she gets 3 jury days off, up to three, 2 this last time, but 3 normally. And when she gets those jury days, then of course she got home pretty early. First day she got home at noon, and the second day she got home at 1:30, 2:30, something like that, I think it was. And you're in. Peter says he's addicted to Rocket League for a while too. Yeah, that's kind of fun game overall. Kind of game, as far as games, more my kind of game at least. Got some skill to it, I guess. Anyway, so she was home for part of last week. She normally was, and I had her go sit in the room and be quiet while I pretended to record on OBS, but I didn't. So too bad I didn't actually record. Then I at least could have edited it, edited the file, and put it up as my one for the week. But I didn't do that. So let's see. We got Peter in the house. We need Steve here if he's out there. probably is busy doing some, that's the thing about evenings. You never know who's going to be able to show up and who's not, because everybody always has things that they have pop up or crop up unexpectedly during the day, that kind of thing. Or they get home and they're really tired, like you are, Peter. Stuff like that. Meanwhile, I've been taking naps and getting all rejuvenated up for this deal. So, yeah. I've got my Texas cup today. Texas. My Texas cup, and your wife is a grand lady to be picked for that jury. Yeah, I know. She was like, she thought she'd get out of it. She thought she'd have a chance, to get out of it or something. But no, based on where you were, what position you were in the thing. She came in there and they put her number one, and all the people, unless they had a really good excuse to get out of it, they went from number one through 20 or 40 or 30, whatever in the point they needed, how many ever jurors they needed. And that's one of the ones that were going to go in. That's the people who focus on, he's asking questions, that kind of thing. So, yeah. She is a grand lady, though. I'll admit to that. I'll agree to that. And, yeah. I'm hoping this will give me, I don't know if it is, I would like something to give me big text or something like that, May go back, put it on there, and see if I increase the text size on the chat box so I don't have to lean over and look at it that well. Or lean over here, look at this one, You might get off the screen, that kind of thing. Any rate, let's see. Oh, yeah. So I was doing all that, and so let's see what other things I had to go on. Can't think of any other thing that happened this week, except I tried to install Brave on my Linux Mint, my wife's Linux Mint computer, and I think I screwed up the old distro or something, because I think I accidentally got an old instructions and I installed some old drivers or software on there, and so I wasn't able to clear it out or clean it out or whatever very easily. And so now the video crashes at some point, usually after it's been playing for a while, but it'll crash on the thing if I watch a YouTube video, like. So that's kind of sucks. I may have to reinstall the whole distro, but I've done that before, right? Let's see what else. I guess pretty much it. Just all the rest standard stuff, pretty much. I went to the doctor, surprisingly, today for a referral for my feet and stuff like that. That's just all personal stuff. You want to know about all that stuff, I'm sure. So nothing critical or problematic. Just some toenail fungus, that kind of stuff that's on there on my feet. And that's about it, I think, for the week. Hopefully all y'all's weeks have gone pretty decent. Going to try Windows 11. Asking me if I'm going to try Windows 11. If I have to, I guess I might eventually. I don't know if I'm going to really try it yet. I think when I get my HP computer back, I may give it a shot and just see what it looks like, just to experience it, just so I know what it is, that kind of thing. Because I got Windows 10 on there right now because, as I said, I had my HP laptop, and I reinstalled Windows 10 on it because my daughter needed it for a project that runs proprietary software that can only run on Windows. Some architect type program or something like that. And so she's So when I get that back finally from her, when she finishes with it and she's done with it and all that kind of stuff, then I might install Windows 11 on it before I rip it out and install something good on it, like Pop OS or Mint or whatever I decide to put on. I don't know yet. It's too far down the road to think about too much. Might even be able to use it for my computer at the outside to replace the computer there. But yeah, well, the computer I bought out in the living room was a $200 computer. It's a refurbished model from TireDirect.com. And so, yeah, I got some use out of it. Maybe I don't know if I got $200 worth of use out of it, but it's cheap and skimpy enough that that you don't really want to take it and get it worked on, because then it probably costs more than the computer's worth, to do that. It'd be cheaper just to go buy another $200 computer. I use Windows 10 at least 40 hours per week. I used to use Windows a good bit. I used Windows 10 somewhat before I stopped using Windows much at all. I think the last distro I had on there was, actually the laptop my wife is using, my wife is using out in the computer out in the living room, is the one I was using when I first installed Ubuntu on it. And I I installed Ubuntu on it, and I dual booted with Windows at the time. I think it's Windows 7 or 8. I think it's 7 though. Yeah, I don't think I really messed with 8 a whole lot other than when on client computers, stuff like that. And then I upgraded to Windows 10 at some point. I had Windows 10 on there, and then I zapped it out. And finally, I decided, okay, I'm done with all the Windows programs I need, so I don't need those. So I'm going to focus on just Linux. Plus, I think I tried to install but I used to use Windows all the time for work when I was bookkeeping, because I ran QuickBooks most of the time, and QuickBooks doesn't run anything other than Windows or Mac. At one point, I only ran on Windows, period. That was all it would run on. But yeah. But even you had to have Windows or Mac to run that thing, QuickBooks. But once I was freed from clients and needed me to do QuickBook work, then I was like, all right, yay. The only thing I needed Windows for then at that point was some Excel payroll spreadsheets I'd created. They had a lot of macros in them that processed a lot of stuff, so I didn't want to. I created them and put all the macros in there. I didn't want to have to try to translate all the macros into the macros for open box, or not open box, but open office type thing. At the time it was open office, and then it changed LibreOffice, so calc. And they use a different whole macro set, so I'd have to translate all the macros, recreate all those macros. I had a lot of macros in there too. So yeah. Yeah, I use Windows 10. Yeah, you said that already. You use Windows 10 these 4 hours per week at the food bank, right? Yeah. So Windows 11. Have you used Windows 11? I use Windows 10. You curious about Windows 11? Maybe I'll do a review on it when I finally get my other computer back, and I'll put Windows 11 on. I'll do a review on it or some point. My HP laptop, it's got pretty good memory, and I was pretty good processor on it, that kind of thing. So, see, I think it's actually one that would run on Windows 11 too, because Windows 11 has requirements, has to have this. I think it has that, most of it. Or I'll get to try to install it on there, and it won't have that on it. so it crash or burn, whatever. So, shall we get on with our script of the week type thing? Have a script. I'm still working on it actually because I need to get it to where it'll clean out the spaces out of files or something. I haven't got it to where it deals with spaces very well yet. You'll see what it is because it uses arrays to sort the files into that it looks for. Anyway, let's get down to it and check it out. Okay, there I am probably. Yeah, see, I just installed this new version of OBS on here, and and I just reset up the scripts in it, I mean the scenes, and I forgot to put the audio into the scene when I switched over to this audio file. So now you should be able to hear me. It's showing that I'm broadcasting noise that's out the walls through there, so you should be able to hear me fine now, hopefully. I guess I'll start back over here. So this is a file is combined PDFs and DRR, which is, yeah, that's combined PDFs and DRR, which is basically it takes all PDFs in a directory and it combines them into one file for you without messing or touching with the other files. So it's handy if you got like the pay stubs I use it for. So I'll download all my pay stubs and then I may need to fax them to somebody. So then I'll combine them in one PDF file so I can use fax better to fax them to somebody with. Works pretty good. Now, and then this says it has Ghost Scripts as a dependency on it. You have to have Ghost Scripts installed. If you don't, this checks if you do or don't have it installed. If you don't, then it'll say you don't have Ghost Scripts installed in your path. Sure, it's the case for using this script. And then it'll exit. Then it sets the destination file, D file. It's either the first position after you put your command in, com pdf send director dir space and whatever file name you want. Or if you don't put any file, the default to merge.pdf. And this part probably isn't necessary, but I set the current directory in a variable just to save it. But I really don't need it because you're in the directory you need to be in. That's all that really matters. Merge PDFs. Then you have and you get files to merge. This is PDF, so it does a ls in the directory on asterisk.pdf, which pulls all the PDF files out of the directory into this merge files array variable. And then this is what I did some changes on here. I commented all that, so that's what I had before. And then I didn't feel like I needed that. So then this just echoes out all the files that it picked up as PDFs. And then it asks you if you want to recombine the right files into the file. And if you say yes, it defaults to no, but if you say yes, or any of the yeses, if there's nothing in there, then it says, hey, you need to have some PDFs for the script to work. Combine, then it exits. Otherwise, it goes down here. If you answer with a capital Y, a lowercase y, a lowercase s, a uppercase s, or yes with the first letter capitalized, it'll process it. If it doesn't, it'll say exiting script user's request and it'll go out. So, and it combines file 1 PDF. Now, this is a command for it to do that. Now, then if it's successful, it'll tell you it's successfully combined. If it's not successful, it'll tell you it wasn't successful, see error code, blah, 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 all that kind of stuff. And then next is that's pretty much the end of the script there. And the, yeah. So that's the script for the week. Combine PDFs in one file. Now the only catch on this so far I haven't figured out is spaces in file names. Pretty much need to get rid of those before you do it if you have any spaces in your file names. I'll show you how this works. Okay, so I'm in the directory here. PDF test, I got a test text, which is just a text saying this is text. It shouldn't appear in PDF. And then you got right away. These are old, 3 old PDFs I had of my old Writers Club in Texas newsletters. Now they originally had spaces and I had to go take spaces out of it, but yeah, so I was trying to get it to work with spaces in and file names, but it doesn't seem to work. I haven't figured that part out yet. So anyway, if you do combine, yes, in directory, See, it says there's these right files. Say, yep, that's the right ones. Yes. And it says remind one file name. I was gonna look at merge PDF. So I don't think I'll probably take the time to do it now unless you want me to, but there's a merge PDF. You see all the PDF files of all the newsletters put together in that one file. So that's how it works. Pretty spiffy, huh? Yeah. And let's see. Now we're gonna go check out OpenBox. Any questions or thoughts yet? Nope, you're just sitting there patiently listening to me ramble on, all right? And let's see. We got OpenBox. Now we're gonna go into Arco Linux here. And jump right into it. As soon as it jumps into Arco Linux, I guess because of memory cipher through stuff, it's got to figure all that out before I can go into it. Usually it goes faster than this. This isn't a problem of things to come or issue of things to come. It happened when oh, technology. Hope this doesn't kill over. Yeah, I did that. Really, I didn't really need them in alphabetical order because those were newsletters, Marauders Club, which I would get. All I do is take them when I get them, and I will put them into the website for them, and the Writer Club website, which I still maintain actually. So they haven't produced any newsletters for quite a while though. I don't even know if they've actually set up. Something's wrong here. We'll kill out of this, see if we can. Yeah, it may have had problem with it. Try it again, see if it works better. Yeah, there we go. That's better. It's a good thing I tried it out again. So I'd be sitting forever watching it spin like Windows. Oh. Here, check it open box here. Right now, yeah, they changed the screen on this box. They were the same year. They were not. Yeah, yeah. I don't know if there's a really way it takes it in order or not, but yeah, yeah. If you want them in a certain order, I think you'd have to name them correctly so it'd fall in the right order. Otherwise, it just puts them whatever order they come into the array as, because it all gets LS. I assume the same order the LS is out, it'll the same order that it'll put into the array. Same order that it'll combine them in. I hope. I think. I don't know. I really noticed that or tried it, but I might try it, fiddle around with it to see what it does sometime. And maybe it'll work, maybe it won't. But I think probably if you put them in order so that when you do an LS on the command order, that should be the order they go into the bind thing as. I'll have to check that out and see. Alright, so yeah, they changed the wallpaper or Arcolinks did on this again to this here, which is kind of like a screen of some text file that looks like it's coding or something. PHP file it's coding, register controller .php. Yeah. So anyway, it's nice. It's not bad. It's pretty good, but I like the other one better actually. But yeah, if we wanted to change it, we can change it. And by going nitrogen. And I was using this wallpaper for a while. And nice. An old setup there. Old Italian River City looks like, something along the lines. Yeah, kind of nice. And kind of part way between a painting and a picture, I guess. Maybe one of those pictures that they put a filter on or something. It looks nice. Anyway, OpenBox is a floating window manager, not a dynamic tiling window manager, which is what you get with most of these that I've reviewed so far, except for one other one, floating window manager, FMLV or whatever, M, and so we have this floating window manager, OpenBox, first real one. We now OpenBox is a floating window manager. Most of, if you like, you've always wanted to try a window manager, but you didn't like the dynamic tiling ones. You wanted a floating one. This is a very popular window manager, and ArcLinux does a good job with it. It works out of the box pretty much. I've adjusted a few things, like I like to have uh, super Q closed windows and super inner open terminals, stuff like that, which I think some of that might be set up with this. So yeah. So let's see, your wallpaper, and webcam on the laptop. Yeah. Look at the cam, well, the webcam unless it's somebody taking a photo of a laptop apparently. So yeah. Yeah, when they pop that up on what? They changed already again? What's this? Yes, but I think if you have a wallpaper set like this, I don't think it'll change it on you whenever it updates a new wallpaper on your system. It's just some kind of automatic update of wallpapers, that kind of thing, something along those lines. Yeah, so yeah, it's nice. Now, as I was thinking, I was going to say was that floating window managers, that's standard Windows thing. Most Linux operating systems use floating window managers. Their window managers, like KDE uses KWin, which is generally floating, although you can put a script in there to make it dynamic tiling if you want to. But Mutter is used by Cinnamon and GNOME and those kind of things. Pop! OS uses Mutter. Now they also make a dynamic tiling window manager. So all these window managers, you can make them dynamic tiling, most of them. I don't know that you make OpenBox dynamic tiling, but why would you want to? Just install dynamic tiling window manager like Awesome or something if you wanted that, Kind of crazy. But OpenBox is your basic dynamic tiling. I was familiar with OpenBox because El Ubuntu had OpenBox on it originally back in the day. And yeah, it's a little bit more archaic to use, a little bit more difficult to use in a sense. They use XML files for its It's configuration files and stuff like that. Take a peek at that real quick. Hearing, yeah, install Kitty on here. Got Kitty cooking on it. Open box. Now it says XFCE is a D on here. That's only because it uses partly because it uses XFCE components, as most of these window managers do in Arch Linux. And two is because they put that variable in the DE field of the Arch Linux. I'll show where that's at in a minute. But yeah, so Arch Linux. It's not really XFCE desktop, but it does have XFCE components like Power Manager and I use because Dolphin doesn't work too well on Awesome and things like that. I use Thunar, which is the XFCE version of File Manager on this one. And I noticed that they use Thunar a lot of times on. Although you can install every one on here, but use it. But I like Thunar because it's just simple and it's easy and it's low overhead, that kind of thing, which is kind of what you want on a manager anyway. And low overhead. And I think if we would put HTOP in here, you would see that it's using 315 megabytes of memory out of 4 gigs. Pretty darn good, I'd say. Yeah. Can't get much skinnier than that. And so I want to go to cd .config / openbox. There's your auto start file, your environment, which is where it sets environment variables like D up here that I was talking about, XFCE D. And now this is a make it yourself menu. Apparently you can create your own menu. You can paste it into this menu function, menu XML. Or you can just say now where you say menu. What are you talking about menu? I'll show you in a minute. And then here's your control file. It's RC XML. If you want to look at that, we have nano. Whoops. Yeah. Sometimes you might want to use an XML manager maybe to edit these if you need it. I can know how to get around these pretty much, but they can be confusing for some people because they have all these things. Now everything that's commented it starts with this and ends with that right there. And so all these are comments all through here. This tells you information about it. Now, so yeah, so your placement. This is policy. Placement policies, window movements, that kind of thing. Key border sizes. Yeah, you can increase this bigger if you wanted to. Font placement. Yeah, here's something you might want to know about it here. Because you might want to just see this is window icon. Your label, aka title. Iconify, which means minimize. I don't know why they call it iconify, but min for maximize, C for close, S for shade, D for omnipresent means it appears on all desktops. Click that button. And yeah, so you just put it whatever. This isn't the default. The default it came with is adds most of them. I put the title. see. Yeah, put the title. Here it is. Title, minimize, maximize, and close buttons on all the windows. Just by LIMC. Because that's all I need, or pretty much. I can get all the other stuff I need in it. So that's something I want to take a peek at when you get into here. Just put in the codes here, and there. Now you imagine somebody that's not new, is new to window managers or new to even Linux or stuff, getting Ubuntu and having to figure this thing out. Well, they used to do it at the time, but I am now. But mainly what I skipped all this stuff because it didn't need it, but didn't mess with it much. But yeah, this is they list out for you. They list out for you four workspaces, 1, 2, 3, 4. And it tells you the number of workspaces you got, the first disk, one that's gonna here, and tells the names of them. Up here, 1, 2, 3, 4, right there. And then it allows you to show all these other things, center, top, a position, all this other stuff in here. It's a little more now. I'm not going to go through all these in detail because there's like over 1,000 lines in here. You probably wouldn't want me to sit here for 2 or 3 or 4 hours and describe all the stuff in here, but I'm going to try to hit the big things I think you might be interested in. Floating positions. There's key binding. Key bindings are the things you're mostly going to be interested in for the most part. You notice it starts with this key binding section up here. Keyboard. Every key binding has this structure. It's got a key binding key. It's got an action. If it's execute, it's got a command execute there. Like that. Let's reconfigure. So your W is your super key, S is your shift key, C is your control key, and A is your alternate key, all caps. All the other keys are in lowercase ones that you press. So that presses Super Shift R to execute the open box reconfigure command. Which if we change anything in this file as we go through it, I'll have to do that to show you what happens. And yeah, usually what I want to do, I want to like put in some, see what I do here. I'll copy this section all the way from keybind to keybind section. Part you need to duplicate. I'll copy it, paste it in here, then I'll go in here and I'll go like, what I want to do is I want to put a Control Shift W to execute. To execute LibreOffice Writer. And that's all you have to do. Type in, the command of the function you want to have activated. Type it in there. And then when I reconfigure it, open box, it'll be able to hit the key combination, open up Writer. Assuming I don't know if I have Writer installed here. I think I do, I'm not sure, but if I don't, then it's not going to do anything, but, but yeah. Let's see. So yeah, you got all this stuff. That's bad. Now some of these have need more than one action, you see. The unmaximized full if you press W keypad 1. Super keypad 1 key. Then I'll maximize. Move resize 2. Does that there. And yeah, doing 5 keypad moves it back to that size. You see it's keypad 2, keypad 3. On down the line. Keypad 5, maximize full. It's actually just institute with it. And it's got all those, you got those keypad, use down key to go to desktop. Yeah, down, wrap, up, C, up. That's Control A, Alt, up. Will take you to the desktop that's up above you apparently. Since they're all on one level, they're not like a square or anything. So you use right and left, so you can do that with. And a tab and SA down, send to desktop. So Shift Alt, Control Alt takes you to it, and Shift Alt will send a window on your desktop over to the other desktop. Just to your right or left, whatever. So I wanted to move this to say number 2 there. I just put Shift Alt, and you see. Okay. I'm not sure what it did, but didn't do what I thought it was going to do. Shift Alt. And Shift Super. That's one difference between a lot of Arco Linux's window managers and this window manager. Yeah, Alt Shift. You now move. There you go. That's over here in 2. We shifted from over there to over here. I'm going to go one more. Go to 3 and 4. When we move back to 1, you can also press some back key, that one. So you scoot it back that way. So yeah, so you can figure that out. Yeah. Say, well, what if I want to run stuff that I don't know what the name of the command is, stuff like that. It does have a menu. Saw before. So it's got a lot of key bindings in here, a ton of key bindings, mouse bindings. And there it is. It's got 1,201 lines. A lot of it's all these open and closing all these things here. So anyway, you can poke around in there and figure out what you want to know. That's the basic things you can find out in there. Hey. Okay. Alright. Now we're going to do Super Shift R. Reappears it. Now let's see if it works. So fellas, yeah, there's no such file in LibreOffice. LibreOffice apparently is installed this. If it would open it up right there. But it's not good. Now one thing some people like about floating window manager is you have the things up here, you can traditional Windows type close and maximize and minimize keys. Minimize it. It shows up right here, kitty. And open it back up like this. Likewise, we'll minimize that for a minute so we look at this. The thing that was real tiny. Yeah, you can get a menu by right clicking. Get a complete menu of settings, other, network, and multimedia, development, accessories. Got a plank, you can establish a dock for yourself if you wanted to. And Lunar and Vim and all that good stuff. And it's got Conky. Yeah, you wanted to load Conky. Yeah. I don't know exactly how you do this. There's a key binding in there that you can toggle Conky on and off with. I think I remember what it was. Yeah, I think it was a Super C. Yeah. Now, because this is Virtual Manager, the text is all screwy on this, but I think it worked better on a regular machine if it was installed on a regular machine. And tells you what's in memory. It gives you CPU, it gives you time up here, and kind of a interesting looking clock. These second hands go in there. And kernel 14 arch. And uptime, CPU temp. Tells you how many processes are going right now, 124. And what's big processes are taking up most of your CPU space if you have it. And here's your storage. How much it's used, how much it's got. And uplink and downlink. You add it on a regular machine. I think it's re-register some more. And show up more. Let's see. I think most of the standard keys on your were. I didn't see anything happen over here. Apparently you have to set some up in that for work. Anyway, I didn't know where the conky is. Probably one of those things in the menu there. I probably have to play around with it. I'm not that familiar with the conky managers and stuff like that, so edit conkeys. Preferences. See your settings, SDM, termite, appearance, and all that kind of stuff. System settings. Got disk, gparted, task manager, text editor is root, file manager is root, AMAC updater and package manager, and OB menu generator. Apparently you can generate menus using this. Not sure exactly how it works, but you can find out some about that, I'm sure. Need to know what's that. Information about this release. Use your offer links online. You go to ISOs, BD, info, Facebook, forum, and YouTube. Help resources for Oakbox, Monkey, Themes. If you want to spend some time in there, you can really get around in here and find some things. There's lock screen next, Oakbox. So I'll go ahead and take that coffee out of the way so it's not messed up. So you really couldn't see it very well, could you? Forgot I was covering it up. So move the chat over a bit here so you can see it. Yeah, if I had the ability to edit the text size in here, I can make this where it's more readable. As it is kind of squished up together up here in this section. So it looks decent, doesn't it? Overall. And take that back out of it. So that's open box, generic, Markle Linux. But perhaps I was going to show you some other things. That's why I had it minimized. Yeah, so yeah, your auto start file, standard auto start file. Yeah, let's see. Yeah, you can set your nitrogen here. I put in this because for virtual boxes, you almost always have to put in the resolution for it to work right. So put X render dash S 1920 by 1080, which is resolution of my screen. This runs a PyCom, so it gives it its textual feel. If you look at it on my computer over here, it looks nice. I'll show you that in a minute. But here's your welcome and your polybar launch. If you wanted to start with this, commented out, but yeah, polybar. If you wanted to use polybar instead of the standard bar, it comes with OpenBox. And here's where you start your Conky session. Bluetooth, if you want Bluetooth, you can comment that. And install Escape. That's a comment that gives you menus. Escape apparently gives you menus. And hashtag number law. Home policy kit. Desktop applications. Bomb control for sys tray. Then you got turn on and off system beep. That's important too. Power manager. Clipboard manager. Your XFC4 settings. Your network manager applet. Is this up here? Plank, if you want to plank, you uncomment that and it'll start it up for you. Discord, InSync, Dropbox. You can comment any of those out. You need them or want them or start it startup when you start your system. So, or you add things in if you have things you want to add to it. You add them in. So, and then it sets environment variables that need to work. There it sets its desktop version. Let's see. Home keyring. And you language, you can comment those lines if you need them. Yeah, so it's environment variables. Very simple. And the menus, but the main menu command is automatic generated menu based on what desktop entries you have in your user / share / applications folder. It's probably some other spots in those pulling from. So it pulls all that from there. So if you put in install new program, it should show up right on the menu. Or you make your own menu, which then you probably have to manually update every time you update your software. It's kind of a pain, personally. So, yeah. That's that. And scripts, all I got in there is the PyCom script. I'll show you that here. So yeah, I think now here's the standard default URXVT terminal that comes with that, not the kitty terminal. This is a standard terminal that comes with it. But well, I thought it would be, because my computer over there is all composite or out, maybe because it's a virtual machine, it can't composite very well or something like that. I'll be right back. Right back. Sorry, I had to go to the bathroom. Happens on occasion, I guess. So let's see. I was saying that's pretty much it for OpenBox. And yeah, it's not bad. If I had to use it, I could use it. I did at one point. So yeah. It's not as easy when I was in Windows, of course. I just right clicked on program name and I could put in whatever shortcut I wanted, and I was kind of used to that. As when I got on Bluetooth, I was how do you put shortcuts in this thing? I finally figured I had to edit that file, and then it was kind of archaic, backwards to me at the time, but I got used to it and figured out how to do it and did pretty well with it, I think. So, yeah. So, what did you think, Peter? If you're still on here, of the chat box on the window screen? Curious to know what's all that, and as well as any questions or thoughts yet on this, or any comments, that kind of thing. Here's yeah, I'm actually drinking a Honduran coffee right now. Roasted it. A new roaster popper roaster. Been going for about an hour here. Yeah, I'm getting close. I'm trying to figure out how to get the YouTube thing working on, not YouTube, but Zoom thing working on here better. I'm trying to get it set up so I can connect up the my microphone and my video camera to both OBS and Zoom at the same time. They're using virtual connections. You can do that kind of thing, but I'm not sure about it. Let's see. A demo of a box. How they do. Ones use menus like I think Awesome uses a menu, right click menu in it. Pretty sure it does. And Now it has a standard if you press your shift thing, this, you can go here and shut down and all that kind of stuff. Or you can right click the menu and go to exit, open box. It's the same thing. Yeah, there's Awesome's right click menu. Most of the window managers for in Arco Linux don't have any menus. Of course, usually you don't have menus with window managers, but there's a few that do, like Awesome. I remember I had a window manager that came with the Dragonized version, not Dragonized specifically, but I was thinking the Qtile version of Gruda. Gruda's Qtile version used to come with a window manager on it too. Yeah, Qtile plus window manager. I don't think they combine those anymore that way, but they did at that point. Yeah, I'm probably gonna head off too. Thanks for sticking around for the show by your tiredness and that kind of thing. And I think I've done everything I'm going to do, so I'll probably say night night to you. Night night to everybody out there in La La Land. We'll see y'all later. We'll look at another distro next week. And ray. Till then, later, Gators. Well, may the Linux Force be with you too. Bye.